going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now,
Jimothy.
So ladies and gents, we are back with the spiciest of spice that I have learned when I went to my last locals. Now I went to locals on Saturday gone, I believe, and I was speaking to a few of my friends, and one of my friends actually said there's a little bit of a spicy tech in order to kind of out the Snake Eye Fire King end board. Now this is very specific because it does pertain to the Snake Eye Fire King end board, not necessarily the pure Snake Eye end board, mainly because the pure Snake Eye end board ends with a couple of Omni negates, sometimes in the way of like Baron de Fleur, Borrelode Savage Dragon, sometimes Appaloosa, which is probably not as big of a problem, but it does end on some form of Omni negates, which does stop your fusion spell actually being able to resolve, which the fusion spell in question is Shadow Fusion, ladies and gents. Now this is not so much common knowledge amongst the majority of the player base, but some of the people who take the game a little bit more competitively are already well aware of this, and I thought I'd just share it with you guys just so you got an idea of what you could potentially do depending on your deck and the deck that you're playing. So how does this even work? Now if you're thinking about it, the Fire King end board typically ends on a, like, I don't know, Promethean Princess Engrave, any combination of, like, I don't know, SP Little Knight, IP Masquerena, Flamberge Dragon, anything of that ilk, as well as like Fire King Sanctuary, as well as Fire King Island. Now what you need to do, go in second, ladies and gents, we're not talking about going first, go in second, is resolve your Shadow Fusion. Now it is a little bit susceptible to Ash, so you do need to bear that in mind, but with one card you could potentially out their whole board, or at least put a dent in their game plan, which stops them from like grinding with you, so to speak. So starting us off, ladies and gents, we're gonna go straight to the main phase, and then we're gonna activate our Shadow Fusion. Now off your oops, we don't want to do that. So activate a Shadow Fusion, my bad, that was a misclick. So what we want to send is, where's it gone, if I can find it, we're looking for our Shadow Aerial as well as our Shadow Dragon. So we send our Dragon to the grave as well as our Aerial to the grave. Have I missed that? Oh no, there she is. So we send those two to the grave, and then we're going to special summon our Shadow App Cologne. Let's put him in the extra monster zone. So we've got a few effects to resolve here, ladies and gents, and it's important to keep in mind the chain links. So what you want to do is, first and foremost, you want to go declare your Nail Shadow Aerial, targeting the monsters in the graveyard that you want to banish. Now keep in mind, Promethean Princess is just a reoccurring threat that just nets so much advantage. It's like DPE from the graveyard basically. So arguably that's one of the cards you want to get rid of. If they've got the Garunix in graveyard, then you potentially want to get rid of that. You might even want to get rid of like Flamberge Dragon or Snake Eye Ash or something along those lines, ladies and gents. It's up to you what you choose, but you get to banish 3 cards from their graveyard. Then you're going to go Chain Link 2, which is the Shadow Dragon, and you're going to target the field spell, ladies and gents, which is going to be your Fire King Island, and that will actually allow you to just pop Fire King Island basically. Then you're going to go Chain Link 3 and declare our Shadow App Cologne to negate the Fire King Sanctuary, which is actually a permanent negate, by the way, which is a little bit interesting, to be honest. So Chain's going to resolve backwards, App Cologne's going to negate the Sanctuary, Shadow Beast is going to pop the Fire King Island, and then Nail Shadow Aerial is going to banish 3 cards from your opponent's graveyard. Now if they do try and trigger anything or try and like jump out of the graveyard or chain, what will happen is the Fire King Island would destroy, and then on a new chain that will just wipe the field basically, and it will be its own effect to destroy all the monsters on your opponent's field. So they kind of like lose out to most of their engine. Now this isn't always a surefire way, but it's definitely one way to combat the meta, because with one card, ladies and gents, you've literally either baited a couple of negates, or you've forced out a few interactions, or even just got rid of a few reoccurring bodies, which is super important in today's game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So that is that, ladies and gents. You've also got 4 or 5 other cards in your hand to potentially play with, so you could do a whole plethora of things before you even activate Shadow Fusion. I'm thinking about putting it in branded as well, just siding the whole package in, going second. because we obviously play branded fusion, so Shadow Fusion and branded fusion in hand is a little bit of a nasty combination. And obviously once you resolve branded fusion, you get so far with just literally the branded fusion alone. It's crazy, and we haven't used our normal summon yet, ladies and gents, so definitely something worth looking into. Now, if there's any kind of like spicy text that I'm missing that you feel like I should include, definitely get at me in that comment section below. I'm all for learning right now, and a few of my friends went to a regional and they just said it was Fire King everywhere, literally Snake Eyes everywhere, Fire King everywhere. There was obviously a few rogue decks, but for the most part people were playing fire, so expect to be coming up against this quite a lot over the next like month or so, a couple of months, however long it is until we get a ban list. But anyway, ladies and gents, if you want to see me play some actual dueling book on the channel, definitely get at me in the comment section below. I tend to shy away from dueling book, not because it's competitive, wow, it's the most competitive online simulator, but the games just take too long and I just ain't got the time to sit down and play like a 45, 50, 60 minute game when I'm at home because I'm busy. But if you feel like that's something that you would enjoy, get at me in the comment section below, I will oblige. So we find ourselves at the end of another video. As always, if you did enjoy this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all of that beautiful good stuff, and I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.